I'm on holiday, family tradition, seafood paella. Preheated paella pan. It's not raging hot because we can control the heat a little bit as we go. And then we've got lots of beautiful aromatic Spanish olive oil. Don't be shy. Traditionally, the Valencian paella was always with rabbit and these sort of local beans. But none of my family like rabbit. I guess you see it on like billboards when you walk through Spain and it's always got seafood in. And people are always surprised that seafood paella isn't actually the traditional one. Chicken thigh here, all skinned down. We're gonna get this really nice and crispy. The pan's pretty warm. Like, I've got it on a fairly low heat. It'll take a long time. It's gonna be an hour and a half commitment. A lot of work in the initial bit when you're trying to get basically before you put the rice in, and then there's very little work after that. You don't touch it, you don't stir it famously. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. The name paella actually comes from this. So paella is the pan, and then the rice is the arroz. You'll get to know like your pan and where it's hotter and where it's colder. And then you just use the shape of the pan to your advantage. Traditionally, you'd have something like a spring onion or some little baby onions. Sorry, Valencians, I always think you can kind of use a lot of different veg and it still tastes damn good. Here I'm just adding leeks just because they're going to add a bit of sweetness to it. And they taste really good when they're slowly cooked and braised. And then we're going to go in there with some red peppers as well. Just a pointed Spanish style red peppers. That's just going to cook away. A touch more olive oil. Just choose a vegetable that tastes better as it cooks for longer. So onions are perfect for that, leeks are perfect for that, peppers are great for that. I think it'd like break the mask if I smoked a cigar whilst doing it. So this has been cooking now for about 10 minutes. We've got a nice colour on the peppers, the chicken's brown, caramelised. The rice that I'm using is a bomba rice. And the thing about the rice is super important. And it's because basically like it's an ultra absorbent variety of rice. So it soaks up liquid like nothing else, and that's why this dish is so good. So the basic principle of a paella is have some really good stock, and this is actually an aged paella rice. And the trick is you need a lot less rice than you think. So I'm just going to flip my chicken over now. I think traditionally you add the stock in first. I always add the rice in first because I'm about to add the saffron in and toast it as well. About 400 grams of rice. And then I'm just spreading it around, just making sure there's a nice even layer around the outside, but there's a nice amount in the middle as well. The best thing that we're trying to develop as we cook this is something called Socarrat. So Socarrat is the crust. I always find it fascinating that so many different cultures have a different name for how crispy rice is. There's a different name in Korean, different name in Jamaican, but effectively people fight over that Socarrat. So I'm adding saffron. I'm just releasing some of the fragrance of that rice. When you toast rice, it breaks up the outside layer. It releases a different flavour, and honestly, the smell coming off it is incredible. So that's all of our base ingredients in. Now we've got our really beautiful stock here. I'm just going to add that in. So for 500 grams of rice, I'm adding approximately 4 litres of stock. Paella is one of those things, I always make it every time I'm down in Cornwall, so like going and getting the fish is just always my favourite part. They're spider crabs. They're big, aren't they? They look amazing. All right, which spider crab should we get?
That one, that massive
one. One lobster, and I'll take a spider crab as well. So this is from the spider. There's some good usable meat inside here, but I'm going to use it for stock. And then these are our little lobster legs as well. So I'm using this as a base because I've obviously got lobsters, but this recipe is super versatile. Essentially, what you want to do is just get a good chicken stock, or you can go to your local fishmonger and get some crab bodies, crab bones, crab claws. Do this with crab, and then you've got loads of different stuff. Rosemary and tomato puree, a splash of white wine, some nice chicken stock. To be clear, if you just have this chicken stock and maybe a little bit of sauteed garlic, some shallots, it would still be delicious. But just use a nice quality chicken stock. You don't want to reduce it in any way, because we're going to reduce it inside the pot to cook the rice. So this is just going to cook for probably about an hour. Cornwall's like right on the tip of the south coast. Most of the shellfish and most of the fish that we get in London as chefs, the best day boat stuff all gets caught in Cornwall. Just ensure that nothing has raw rice and any of the ingredients doesn't have raw rice on the top. Once you've moved and sort of positioned this, it's pretty much not going to move again. You're almost like finishing the dish, or you're thinking about how it's going to be finished. Now, especially with a pan this big, it'll take a long time to cook evenly. If you've got a very large flat pan, you can easily recreate this. You can recreate something similar at home. The principles remain the same. Invest in good rice, invest in a good Spanish olive oil. Just turn all 4 hobs on and then you get even more control over it. I'm just gonna add my final little ladle of stock now. Everything's nicely arranged. I'm just gonna leave that. It'll cook for about 35 minutes. Then I'm gonna add my shellfish and arrange it one final time. So this so far, 20 minutes. So super simple, getting everything caramelized, stock on, rice in the right place, 20 minutes, and then now you can have a cerveza, have a sangria, enjoy the sunshine. So this has been cooking for 27 minutes. So these grains here are almost fully translucent, and they look like they're cooked and starting to break away. And then these ones on the outside just still got tiny flecks of white on the inside. So that means we just need to shift the position of the heat slightly. Ideally, get a spirit level. You can get one on your phone as well, just to make sure that wherever you're making it is completely flat. And that'll mean that you'll get a nice even cook all over the whole dish. We're 30 minutes into it now, and to be honest, they always say with paella, never ever to touch it. The reason that they talk about that is because the socarrat is the most important thing that you're always looking for. So what happens when this rice is going to be cooked is then the crust is going to start to develop. And because you've got so much starch inside the rice, which has come out, essentially the fats that have come out during cooking and the olive oil that we started with, and all of that starch is going to make an insane crispy rice base, and that's what basically that's what people fight for in Spain, the socarrat. So we've got our lobster and our spider crab, which we went out and got this morning. This is just a little bit of the juice from the head, which I'm whacking in. For me, this is some of the best shellfish that you can possibly get. To be honest, I'm going to say it, in the world. It gets exported normally all around the world. And we've got the head, this beautiful spider crab. So I'm just going to build this back up so it looks like a nice whole crab. So these are spider crabs. So these are massively they've always been in British waters, but they're all quite an invasive species of crab that come and blanket the sea. They've got a beautiful flavour. Try and remember where the legs came from. So yeah, we used all of the spare bits of the crab for stock as well, just to make sure that it cooks nice and evenly. Is just tinfoil the whole thing. The crab is just going to steam in the broth that's evaporating. So this is the most important stage. So you're finishing the cooking of the crab and lobster. All that juice from the lobster and the crab is going to go in, and it'll be like almost like the last sort of little bit of stock. Steaming just guarantees that it cooks really evenly the whole way. And then I'm going to turn the heat right down. So that's been 40 minutes cooking total, so not a huge amount of time. Rice is basically now fully cooked, but what we're trying to build now is the socarrat, so the crust at the bottom. And we've got our shellfish on there, which is just delicately steaming in all that beautiful chicken spider crab head juice. Been in about another 10-15 minutes. Just checking now how we're getting on. It's almost like a caramelized smell to come, and then you know that the socarrat's forming really nicely on the bottom of the pan. But gentle heat at this stage. Shellfish will probably be cooked now, so it's just that last little bit of heat just to give it this perfect crunch. So this is what we're looking for. I can hear now, it sounds almost like a fire crackling, and we're still steaming away. I can hear the socarrat forming, I can hear the crust. Rice crispy sound. Super comforting. It sounds like you're crunching through fresh snow. If you're worried about it burning, just stay here and smell it, and as soon as you smell anything that isn't golden caramelized like goodness, then cut it. The whole process now has only taken an hour, so it is actually a relatively quick thing to do. And while it's an amazing thing if you've got like a proper like free afternoon, you know. It does take care and attention. It's almost like doing a risotto, like all rice takes proper care and attention. So, right, let's open her up. Whoa! Look at that!
Did she make that?
I made it.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. Does it look yummy?
You make that rice.
How did I make the rice? Well, you'll have to like and subscribe and find out. Total cooking time, 1 hour and 10. You can tell that all the spider crab's cooked because it's leaked out all of that beautiful juice. Oh, that's it. You can see it frying in there. And that is the crunch and the crisp that we're looking for. That is a socarrat. Sit around the table, open a beautiful bottle of Spanish wine, crack open a couple of crab claws. Seafood paella, the best in the world.
Someone can bring you down.